The first realization that every professional needs to have as they embark on a learning journey is that gone are the days when you would get a job that you desire just because you did a course. Right? Today, forward-looking companies and the best of jobs go to people who are able to demonstrate their skill set or competence. So professionals need to understand how to do that while they are learning something. And the best way to do that is by showcasing what you have learned. Right? And that is why you would see in our programs, we help candidates build what we call a body of work. These could be a set of projects and assignments where they can showcase to the external world in terms of how have they applied these concepts and how closely have they been involved in the practical application of these concepts. And that is important because that is what gets appreciated. Beyond academics, it is important that candidates also follow the recent trends in the industry. One important aspect that most candidates do not realize when they come into a program like ours, but when they graduate, this is by far one of the key learnings that they take, is a network that they build. Right? When you learn with another set of aspiring and highly capable professionals who are also looking to break into analytics, big data, data science, machine learning, the value of the network that you build actually reaps benefits in the years to come. Right? So give it 5-10 years and you would see that most of these people would be in great positions, and that I think is a great consequence of any high quality education. And one key element that a lot of our candidates use to good effect is that when they are in the program and as they go through these learning hoops, they also build to improve their own visibility within their existing employer. And I think this is extremely important if you have opportunities to transition within your existing company. And there are many ways to do that. You could, of course, showcase your own projects that you're doing, showcase your own learnings, do or involve yourself in a project, even if it is at a freelancing or a part-time capability. So these things actually help, your managers and your existing employees to take notice of the fact that you are building or you're spending time and effort in building this competence. And once that happens, usually candidates do get rewarded with the opportunities that they want. I think there are no two thoughts to it. In today's time and age, learning is not a one-time process. We are in an age of continuous learning, and every professional has to keep learning. Not just by doing programs, but also by learning by themselves. So, in essence, gone is the time when you could do a college degree, and that degree would hold you in good stead for the next decade or two. Today, the way businesses change, the way technology disrupts the way of doing things, I think everything goes into turmoil every so many years. Right? And especially in these forward-looking emerging areas such as analytics or data science or machine learning or big data, things are evolving at such a rapid pace that you have to keep learning. Right? So I think professionals have to come out of that mindset that their graduation or post-graduation is enough. Today, don't look at education as a degree or a paper certificate. It is much beyond that. Learning has to be a habit, and you have to keep on learning. And as professionals, our careers are 25-30 years, and I think every few years we will have to go into that mode where we either build upon our existing capabilities or acquire newer skills that are in demand in the market. And I think that is the new normal, and we all have to either make peace with it or actually relish this opportunity. So I think continuous learning is the new normal, and every professional now has a choice to make. You can either embrace it or you can stand the risk of your capabilities being obsolete in the times to come. So at Great Learning, when we look at the skill gap that exists, What we are trying to do here is focus on data-driven proficiencies. We believe that data is the future, and every knowledge worker needs to have a data-driven decision-making approach. Right? And that is what analytics essentially means. Right? So in some sense, what we're saying is that every knowledge professional in the coming times has to be a data scientist to some extent. Right? The extent to which you will use techniques and application of analytics will vary from role to role, company to company. But data-driven skill set and data proficiency is going to be a key critical skill set for every professional. At Great Learning, our endeavor is to help professionals master this competency. And the way we do it is primarily by three aspects. One is by providing high quality global education that helps you build competencies. So we are not we are not trying to be academic or purely academic. We are not trying to be pedantic in nature, whereas our approach is very, very application driven. So we want you to learn concepts, build a strong foundation, but not stop at that, but also master the application aspect, because that is what the industry appreciates. The second aspect is you learn from the best of faculty. Many of our faculty are ranked within the top analytics faculty in the country. They've even been recognized internationally for their achievements. But it's not just about learning from the top faculty, it is also about learning from industry experts. So in any of our programs, you will see that the amount of focus that we put in bringing industry into the classroom and helping you learn from them is immense. And what that really means is that by the time you graduate from any of our programs, your learning is much more wholesome, so as to say. Right? You have a strong foundation and you also understand how the industry appreciates and uses these concepts. Yeah, the last aspect is what we call as application-oriented approach. And here what we do is that everything that you learn will be supplemented by either a project or an assignment or some practical learning that you can actually apply. And over a period of time, what that does is that A, it helps you learn concepts better because you also apply them on real world business problems. But beyond that, what it also does is that it builds a body of work for you to showcase to the external world. So that once you graduate, you're not just walking around with a certificate or a piece of paper saying that you learned something or you did some program, but you actually have very impressive projects and assignments to showcase which resonate with what the industry is looking for.